As things on split, for the most part, are fairly solved. You see that same toxic screen going across the B side out towards mid to slow things down there, and mid control really is the name of the game. So although the toxic screen is there for LG, there's not much hindrance for this Rise attack to be able to take control out that way, especially because nobody is playing. So for now, mid control conceded, but B main control, Mimi, they're fighting for it here. They're deep in this one. They're going to corral Rise to the opposite sides of the map.
That comes up. It's a good time to deny Dazzle on the flash. He'll have to run away, but Mata, he is flanking. Tig gets away with it as Mata finds one, but not for long. You cannot run forever. Shanks eventually hunts down the Astra. Now the nade to provide some time. Dazzle instead runs his way back towards screens, but with no birds left and a slow at his feet, there's no way to contest this. Instead, it will fall to the 4 versus 4 retake, and for Rise, the win condition is holding heaven. It's a crossfire between Neptune and Shanks.
And Dazzle didn't spot Derek creeping up on screens. Mata's good to get one back, but how much more can they find? Moose still alive means a lot of clutch potential, and you're seeing it right here as he trades that one back onto Shanks, and the back and forth continues here in these rounds between Rise and LG as Poise looks to fight once more for heaven control, and he's good for it. That spike still ticking as B-Dog goes on the hunt, trying to
get a little aggressive, especially towards that crucial mid control, which is where the side of Neptune is looking to hold.
Pulling them in.
And Stars recalled, Stars used. You saw, I think, all 5 stars down at the start of the round for Supa. And those stars kind of just set up to stop this vision that is all really LG has, right? You take away the vision with the toxic screen, but the nebula smoke can do the same thing. Then both teams fairly blind here. It obviously bodes better for Rise to have this control as they storm on up. 4 players stacked up on this side. Dazzle not quite here just yet as Neptune pushes his way on. And okay, Mr. Eco frag here, and Neptune finds 3. Nice leap on over. So some hardcore parkour from Dazzle, but I think damage is even hard to ask.
In this one, as it will be that double duelist holding in mid. Notice the star setup, though. It's rather deep from the side of Rise, so they're looking to contest this really quickly. And there it is. The grab well is absolute perfection.
Yeah, one in response, but it doesn't do anything. It just slows things down for a second. Paint shells also going to force one away. Moose good for 1 through the toxic screen. That's Derek to fall as B-site still fortified here with a few defenders, but opened up no less as Tig came running around the corner, and Superman had an answer for him. Now Dazzle once more. The last one standing has a bit more to work with, so can hope for some damage, but 4 kills and a defuse with the clock ticking. Feels like a big ask for the Sky. Supa being a news.
Deny a lot of the pacing, which teams like Rise like to run with that agent, but it doesn't exist in this game for the side of Luminosity. So those ideas stay hypotheticals, as it will be a heavier force towards mid. Again, just that double duel setup. This time it's out onto the B site, and the space has already been conceded. Neptune claims it off of the showstopper. Does he hear the jet? Oh no, the drop in! B-Dog just looking like a wrestler diving from the top rope. As it is just 3 left alive, they'll try and push forward to claim some kind of cheeky kill, but nothing more will be given away till now. Mata, he claims a shot. This is a 3 versus 2. It's a Bucky on the retake. We have to add that asterisk, but still, if they can get another frag here, things actually start to get very risky.
Yeah, health's low, right? That Bucky, it's not going to take a whole lot to take down Shanks or Neptune. Unfortunately, you have to find them first. Nice grab, Wells. There it is. The Bucky picks up one up close and personal. Tig slowly becoming best friends with this weapon. His Mata's retrieved a weapon. Now look.
Shot, but the same was true to the other side. Still, we're back to rifles versus rifles, and we get our first look at the B-Dog op. He'll be out towards B main alone. There's actually 3 players very close to the A side, another rotating through vents, and Tig just sprays one away. So when playing this retake, LG's in a great position. Rise, where are they planting? Again, it's for Heaven. They'll look to recontest this Heaven space in towards the late round.
Yeah, they'll need to, but nobody's really set up to do that just yet. Shanks flash drive in hand. Oh, man. Everything tossed here at the KO. Able to flash out, but he gets a bit of himself vulnerable. Forced to back away. The fragment will stop the push for now. Somebody here on the side of LG are going to have to make their way onto this site and start to find the kills as Derek goes 1 for 1.
And close to cracking away at this Rise economy. They have a buy left in them, and if the lost bonus builds, then they can at least get a spike down this round. They'll have one in the next, but Rise, they're definitely hunting for more than just that spike.
I'm looking at Moose here in this round to stay alive. To keep that Viper's Pit up and cut off the options out towards mid. As he's going to be the only one playing close to this pit. The operator pushed up inside B main and is about to get some value should Neptune swing this way. And also get heaps of value in way of information if B-Dog continues to push forward. But he finds a kill. He backs away. They try to push up towards the A site. Mata immediately silences Shanks. Resurrection there. Paint shells to go over the top. They don't want to repeat. They understand that it's a bait. And Tig goes on the flank to try and crunch him up inside ramps. And just like that, we find ourselves in a 2v2 with the Resurrection used. It won't be available. Seekers out. Information garnered. Spike in hand. Wall goes up. The spike gets planted. And now it's a one-directional approach. Unless B-Dog does something crazy, right? He's got the knives online. He can just updraft over that bad boy.
Derek on the site can stay alive. That would be enough. He just needs to live in this, and he doesn't. Now the wall is still up. This round might just be over. Poised has no way to deny unless he sprays through. B-Dog is sticking. B-Dog is holding. Is there an angle? There isn't. He has to drop down.
Thing for LG, and this is it, right? This is their stars starting to shine bright for Luminosity Gaming. We already got that from Rise, and we're continuing to get that. Now LG need to match, and Moose starts off the next round in huge fashion, taking down Neptune.
And the zoning utility is so good. Combination between that wall and the orb locks everything down in mid. Rise now will get to work past it, and an aggro cam controls the vents. But LG are in a position that they don't really need to peek this. B-Dog is alone holding A on an aggro line with the op, so it's 3 stacked out towards his B-site and Dazzle. He might just be about to find a ton of information. Only spots 1 though. Still, Mata's going to be ready on the swing off contact.
Has paint shells as well, so really doesn't even need to put himself in too much trouble here. He's going to toss him out. Found some good chip damage. Cosmic Divide comes on through, but what's it worth here? The attack has to try and push through, and look at the spike. Sure, Supa's finding the kills. He's opening up the site, and that's going to be just enough as LG forced to rotate across the map here. I thought that that wall would have been good to stop Derek in his tracks as Supa still finding kills for the squad. Spike planted, and B-Dog has the operator. Low health on the Astra. We'll see if he finds something early. Creeps on up. Leg shot gonna do the trick. Now swaps on over to the rifle as Derek peeks. Derek's been so clutch before. Can he do it again? This is the duel we saw on the A site. Now we get it over here towards B, and B-Dog.
Not necessarily round changing.
So much, man. This meta that we're in of just the utility dump to try and find someone early in the round. Unfortunately, it does not work the way Rise had intended, so they will back away from the angle. Meanwhile, that same angle being held by B-Dog out towards A. It might just garner some value. That ultimate that you mentioned at the start of the round, maybe taken away a bit too early. Viper util out towards mid. Gonna stop some pushes. Snake bites on the other side, and Moose now to reposition. 4 members still out towards mid here for Rise. Poised, yet to give up his positioning just yet. Nice flash drive. And force Moose away. So mid control the way of Rise as they look to wrap into heaven, but the operator's still holding the angle, Mimi.
Dazzle. Bit of information. The op shot misses. Dash away. B-Dog's in a bit of trouble. Cage keeps him alive though, and Dazzle is still here. Dazzle, he spotted out Neptune, but Neptune still leads the fight. So now this gets awkward, but Moose in heaven keeps it alive. The spike is headed towards B. Tig needs to survive, and he cannot do so. It's another retake. B-Dog again with an op in hand, and Supa is still hunting. He is just pounding down on B-Dog for enough to buy time. B-Dog is going to be so staggered from his team, and now they have to deal with killing this Astra. Where is Supa? That's the biggest question for Luminosity Gaming.
And there's also the Sage Wall up inside B Heaven to slow down a push there. So that spike planted with ease, and the information also garnered by Rise that a player might be that way. Now some time has subsided. The clock continues to tick, so it's The whereabouts still unknown as Mata creeps up onto the site. Oh, Showstopper hoping to find somebody looking.
Site together as a team and went out with the superior weapons and the stronger force. Now, Rise will have an investment, and there will be a bit of an off angle. That Astra boosted up onto the box towards B, but mid, the initial point of contact is it's more of a default for the side of Rise.
Dazzle able to escape, was trying to play the close angle with the judge. Unfortunately, doesn't get a whole lot there. As that cam stands, thinking maybe Poise stayed on this side of the map, but it does seem he is going to accompany Neptune out towards mid through the sewers. And all 5 for Rise just about stacked up. Pushing up into heaven, no command. Will suppress. Flash drive doesn't quite land as you would have hoped for Shanks. 0 point also going to go out just for some extra suppression. But B-Dog doesn't need the abilities. He stands and fights on the site, goes 1 for 1. The resurrection back online for Derek means Neptune back on the table here for this squad. As Tig reloads, he tries to back away, but he's run down inside B main. And only 2 remain on the side of LG. Rise looking to reclaim their lead as Dazzle forced to clear things out and maybe back away to link up with the Moose and hang on to these weapons.
And that will be the decision made. Out towards mid, though. Shanks is in a position that if they went for this, he could have wrapped, or else he can just hunt. Maybe pressure a little bit. Doesn't want to go too deep, because that economy is still quite brittle for the side of Rise. But a well set up execute out of them. Shanks with that null command works really well. B-Dog gets into the fray, isn't really able to dash away or find anything from his position on the pillar. Then the man in main isolated.
For online, so this could quite possibly be another round that Rise can use this ult economy advantage that they have over LG. But, you know, it takes a few rounds to get those stacked up, especially to get that null command back online. Well, that's a great way to get those ults started. Superman having himself a grand old time here on Split. A couple of multi-kills already, and here in round 10 starts off with a nice early frag on Tamata, which is a lot of this firepower on the defense taken off the table.
Showstopper available here. In the late round if Neptune wants to use that on an execute, and Super's getting close to his wall too. They're not really in a position to recover any orbs, so instead they'll look to re-clear space out there. Teammate Poise spots it, but he's not ready on the line, so Dazzle gets the reply. Now Seeker's popped. It's a minute on the clock, and this should call for a practically full reset for Rise. They have to reevaluate if they've lost space at mid because of this wall. They have to reevaluate if anything is going on towards A. If you want to commit towards that space, but no. B is the supposed decision. And with no pressure in mid, this one just has to be a hard execute. Is there still utility up for Moose? There's a snake bite to work with.
30 seconds left.
They're just going to flash on through.
Blast packs, wall goes up. Neptune on the other side takes some damage. Doesn't trade any out as paint shells also follow. Flashed out with Shanks, and Moose will capitalize on two. Dazzle is there to also reap the rewards of his flash. And now Supa.
10 seconds. You can do. You either fight through the orb, get aggressive, or you just wait and give time for your opponent to rotate on in. Neither option is good. And we saw that tough decision there is Rise's economy again starting to feel this hurt.
Mata, I mean, oh my goodness, a blast pack kill to boot? That should not happen, but at the end of the day, Mata trades his life for two, favorable for the side of LG. Blades are still online, and a judge still holding the angle inside B main. Meanwhile, Rise, nice little weapon upgrade. Here comes the neural theft. They're going to link to everybody's brains to try and get the information. B-Dog has since repositioned the paint shells, trying to clear him out, and the daggers. Can he pop some grapes? The kunai could be huge here in stopping this push from Rise as they go deep inside the spawn. Dazzle was ready for it, but poised quicker on the trigger. The fire speed from the Spectre and the headshots do too much. He's weakened. He might just find his way on, and unfortunately doesn't find the kill. Dagger is still landing for B-Dog. He wants to find three, but he runs out. And Neptune awarded the plant, but 11 health in a 1v2. This right here, near unwinnable for the Rays.
Well, where's that Molly? He's getting locked in. Has to just tuck on this box. One bullet. That's all it will take to close, and Neptune He's not in a position to do so. Second he backs away from this box, he's dead. He is committed to this angle. He is committed to this line. Luminosity knows it. They know something is amiss. This angle will be higher cleared, and there is...
Of just doing so much in the back lines or drawing so much attention, opening up so much space, lurking on the Viper whenever he does get a chance to play it. So we'll see if that lives up. Ooh, nice. Grab well there. Gonna find Neptune buried 6 feet under as Tig. It's not a Bucky, it's a Judge this time, but this guy sure loves his shotguns. The showstopper goes out. No, the damage. It escapes Shanks. He's able to get healed up, but Derek taking quite a bit of damage himself. The 3 remaining. I mean, they've just been sheepdogged inside of B main, and Mata is here to capitalize. It's still down to the lower bracket in this matchup alone. So if you want to have a bit shorter of a day, you got to get it done here and in the next. As we swap sides, Luminosity, the lead by 2 and a 0 point. All the information that you could need. Now, speaking of all the information you could need, it's LG with all the mid control you could need. They will be gripped up here by the wire, but that's a great start here for the rest. This is causing the paranoia here. The wire might not even matter. There's the backstab to come on through. It was the boom bot for 1 for Neptune, but LG is still in a good spot, pushing forward and cutting down the Rise numbers.
And I love that macro, too, from Mata to throw that nade as deep as he did. Because even if there's a player close, it limits the escape option, and it denies any possibility of a trade. Another plant up for Heaven this time. Poise is trying to flank. Dog has this one locked down. Double dink with the Frenzy to finish. Now it's Supa alone. And he has space in Heaven, but the thing is, LG's comfortable in their numbers. They're not even looking to re-clear. Instead, they just hold their lines, hold their space. And this is an off angle that surely you don't expect. Supa doesn't. Still finds the frag. Look at B-Dog, though. This man is a rat, and he is holding close yet to spring the trap. Time ticking HP.
On it at the end of the day. So classics, shorties on defense. You're hoping for the best from your right clicks and your close angles. And also your stack out towards the B side. Whereas LG, where are they stacking the ultimate orbs, huh? Who's getting the ult online in round 3? I want to see it.
Looks like Mata at least wants it. First man up towards mid. Derek, other side, shorty in hand. Does he disrespect this a little bit? It's a risk being taken. Does it pay off? Mata just holding.
High-low.
Yeah, you're right. High-low. This is a tough setup to break, but there's a Sky Flash available. A dog even.
Oh, the dog. What the dog doing? It's stunning up Derek. The flash drive just a second too late as Neptune plays on the ropes. He goes up. Unfortunately, immediately falls to the ground. So 1 kill. Good so far for Rise.
Which is crucial. They managed to take it. What's the setup looking like here for the side of Rise? Some lurk smokes deployed towards A to give options. You're going to rat your way out in that direction. But the brunt of the setup provides itself in mid. Luminosity Gaming inch ever slowly forward. There.
Same trap wire that we saw previously. Both going to drop down. Maybe only expecting one, but nobody on the other side from Rise. And now that is just kind of an afterthought as to where these players might be. It looks like the barrier orb was used to block a push, so a split into Heaven for this squad. Fragment also going to delay a push into B Heaven. There it is, barrier orb up. That one looking at to subside, and now it feels like anything could be possible on the side of LG. Rise need to find a way to get some extra information. Toxic screen goes up. 3, including the spike inside this A Heaven position. Ooh, and I'm actually going to reveal one. It doesn't really spot too much, but now the footsteps being heard. It's letting you know that LG want to end up on this A side. Trap wire. Going to trip one up. Moose going to be taken down, and a huge hold on the A side as B-Dog tries to fight his way out of it, but Neptune is there to make sure he can't. Now Tig needs to try and battle back not only for a couple of members, but to get the spike. It sits upon the Heaven perch. Tig quickly going inside A Heaven, trying to find the backstab, but the footsteps surely heard. Supa drops onto the site.
Held in B. Rise had a setup that was well prepared for it, and they shut the play on down now. We're back to something more defaulted for Luminosity Gaming, as they'll again pressure towards this mid control, but this time, no trap wire to break. Instead, it's an aggro cam. 2 players to work off of it.
And really nowhere to go either. So much util tossed out to Neptune. Gonna Gonna scoop up a couple with the rifle in hand, but that's what the Astra brings to the table, especially on a map like this, working in tandem with your Rays. And all said and done, Neptune's got the paint shells again, so should LG find another opening on a couple of these players, Neptune still a problem. So is the judge up inside heaven.
So one-sided, and keeping so many guns up is absolutely huge for their economy early into the second half now for Luminosity. On the save, they'll take some presence in B main, and Neptune, though, in a position to trade through the flash. The judge, maybe. Shanks dives for it, and he'll find it. The fragment helps the zone, so that one's for free. Tig, though, he's made it past Supa, and Supa is completely unaware. This could get dicey.
Yeah, deep into enemy lines here. Supa gonna go Galactic for just a second. That kill found. Now the attention's been bought. Unfortunately, the weapon just out of reach. Showstopper user investing lots into this one. We go Showstopper for Showstopper. Neither of them find success, but Tig is here for the trade. Now, weapon to be retrieved. Only one here in the hands of the Cosmic Divide. LG are throwing so much into this as the no command just a second too late in the frenzy.
5 comp, if you can at least start by baiting out a little bit of that Astra util, you can get in the right direction. Most of the time the Astra util has been heavier on the A site, but obviously you don't know that till you poke. So I'll have to take at least a moment in this default. The setup again is rather heavy in mid.
Yeah, less of a fight for it this time. Same trap wire inside vents. Good LG push this way. And they'll take down the trap wire and give that information over to Rise that somebody is lurking in the area. Unfortunately, the flashing Finch does not find any information either. So for now, both teams fairly blind. That should trip the trip. With just under a minute on the clock, LG need to make some decisions. This time a different barrier orb being used. It's going to block off this push almost completely, or this crunch for teammates to link up inside a heaven. But look at this spike, Mimi. It hasn't committed this way. Still in mid. There's still options. And the rotate, I don't want to say they're there fully. Okay, now we're just going back and forth. Rise unsure of where this hit actually wants to take place. So good usage there of the Trailblazers. Seeker still online. Nay, heaven control. It's the way of LG, but the site in favor of Rise.
Derek, he needs to stay up on the site. He needs to at least get something. He has support now. Ready, dash on forward. Derek falls for nothing but poised. He'll take the position, and he'll grab all three. Spike is on the floor. Timer is nearing 0. And while that spike's been recovered, it's just a tap. Still moves, fighting in. And Dazzle gets another, but needs to take down Shanks. He does it. 1 versus 1. Timing. Supa just needs to live in their approach to this one, because their mid-controlled late A splits have not been working. There's just so much util to buy time. Sage walls for Derek have always been really well placed, and this time they get a little more aggro towards A. They want to just take this one out through main, but the knife, that 0 point, it reveals quite a few, so they have to hesitate for a moment. Now, with the effect worn off, this A site is open, but they have absolutely no idea.
Early wall in this round. Based off the information garnered by the 0 point. Heavy lean out towards mid. Rise expecting LG to go the same way, to play the same style they've been playing 18 rounds into the game. That's not going to be the case. As Shanks slowly creeping back up into heaven. Really everybody. Shanks is just the tip of the spear with the judge. Moose rifle in hand. Last packs onto the site, and the site's secured. But again, the buy, it's not the best. So you really have to take these ratty fights. You have to be trading here if you're LG, or if you're B-Dog. You have to start cutting through this defense. 5v5, the clock is ticking as Moose will toss out Poison Cloud. Maybe look to play lineups, and Rise need to push on in, working against the clock, and the knives are taken down almost immediately.
Yeah, but look how deep it is. Every second bought off this clock is another opportunity for the Viper to win the round, but it's just him now. And Moose is no longer in a position to throw the lineups. It's over. Shanks has his defuse. There's no chance for it. What a well-orchestrated one for the Rise Nation. Now, that was the lesser buy for Luminosity. They were on a bit of a save, but still hurts to be losing out on those ones. Poised. Not a lot of Cyphers really play this camp, but it's a nice one, right? It's almost like an inverse head glitch where you can see their legs far, far before they can even break that cam. So as long as you keep them at bay with utility, that cam can stay up really deep into games, even if the opposition knows it's there.
And it's that same setup, right? You have to be wary of this if you're LG. There's a star at your feet right now. The cam will spot you out, and, you know, the wombo combo is there. D-Dog, a couple of cloud bursts. Looking to play on the opposite side, but gets shot through it. Neptune takes him down, and the attack withering away on the side of LG. Boombot gonna clear things out inside the ropes room. Shots through the smoke, and Super puts himself in a rough spot, but he gets the reload. It doesn't matter. Mata's there to trade. Controller down. Paint shells traded back and forth. The B site once more opened up for free. We saw the same thing over towards A. It's Rise opting into the retake. His Mata will reclaim the high ground.
30 seconds
Spike yet to be planted. Moose will finally get that one down. And he'll have the pit.
Yeah. As I get committed. Yep, there it is. Comes up. Shanks' utility does not come in time to deny that one, but the resurrection is here. Remember, Tig, out in mid, this position could be massive.
Tig needs to go huge. Nobody even looking in this direction. They're all five just storming onto the site as they drop down. Tig will find the only one up in heaven, but Derek is there to trade it back. Makes quick work of the flank, but the pit is still up. The neural theft for information, and now it's only the Viper here to keep this pit standing, to keep this round alive for LG, or Rise will have themselves a level with the Cosmic Divide. Moose can't hear it.
Lose for losing in that situation, but still a tough one. Still a tough one. LG, though, they've built up a full loss bonus. Money will keep them at least ambulatory for the rest of this half.
I mean, Neptune keeps finding value in doing that. As LG push up through mid, sprays through the smoke, and doesn't find a kill this time, but heaps of damage on Mata. Will be healed up and able to go trade the damage for a kill on to Shanks. So there must be a new raised passive. Does more damage than lower health. Either way, topped off, shieldless, but a player ahead here for LG. As they look to go right back towards their B hitting ways, and they need to try and clear out backside with the see if the Trailblazer does spot one. Dash onto the site, Mata one away from the showstopper again. An ultimate that could secure the round, the vulnerability, but Neptune still finds the kill. Poise will find Tig. The backstab is there. Poise has been huge, and they weren't expecting another one to be backside after spotting Neptune here. Supa goes unchecked, and Moose has to do it again. This time, 3 players alive here.
It's still such an issue. Luminosity stuck down. They have some ults, though. Mata has a showstopper. They can maybe look to try and revisit their early success with the fast plays towards mid, but not this round. The star setup was there for it. And you saw the Riser's response. It was probably really far back. Poise is incredibly passive. This B site, LG keeps trying to exploit it, and it keeps failing.
There.
Rise is set up strong on the site. 2 players. And the spam. Oh, the spam. It might just be enough. Supa's found one. Falls away. That's a spike on the floor. Shanks just applying pressure. And the showstopper. Will it connect? Straight up and over through. Mata finds it midair on the drop down, but Rise can still work this one. They're so close in. They have utility to work with a showstopper on their side. And it goes straight through, maybe. No. Holding it. Waiting for the wall to fall. Now it connects. Neptune finds one. Supa grabs the second. And they're corralled. Caught into the back lines. It's only Mata to hold. And he's found one, but the time, it's an issue. The spike not in his hands. Utility at his feet. And only 76 HP to work with. Poise waiting. The patience from Rise, it's just